How's everyone doing? Today I have an awesome and huge 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray collection update with 16 pickups. And if you've seen any of these movies or TV show, definitely let me know what you think of them and let me know which one of these is your favorite. And let me know what is your favorite 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray release in your collection and what you'd like to see get released in 4K Ultra HD in the future. I feel like I'm seeing more and more titles getting the 4K treatment, and I feel like, years ago people were saying, oh, 4K, it's just a fad, it's going out. It's been around for, at least 6 years now. I can't remember the exact number of years, but I think I got my first one like 6 years ago now. And it's still going strong, and you're seeing more and more titles get this treatment, like Big Fish. Tim Burton's Big Fish is getting the 4K treatment, that's coming out soon. But more and more titles are getting them, more and more ones that I didn't expect to get it. So I'm definitely excited for it. And if you want the best picture quality out there, then 4K Ultra HD is for you. I know not everybody has jumped the ship. Some people are still staying on Blu-ray. It blows my mind that still a lot of people are, buying DVD. I guess you just don't care about the picture quality quite as much and you just want the movie. Sure. But yeah, I remember last year DVD sales were the top for the physical media sales, which blew my mind. And I remember I got some comment recently, who buys DVDs anymore? A lot of people. A lot of people still buy DVDs. But, again, like I said, if you want the best possible picture quality, if you're just, big into, the audio-visual aspect of it, and I think you'll definitely appreciate it. There's some transfers which are much better than others, some ones that aren't quite as good for the Blu-ray to the 4K, but I've seen some ones that just blew my mind. The one that really changed my mind was Shallows. I watched it on Blu-ray. I absolutely love the movie, and Blake Lively in 4K, stunning. But yeah, when I saw the 4K, it was so much more detailed, the clarity. I love that movie. Like I said, it's my favorite shark attack movie since Jaws. It's a great character-driven shark attack movie. It gets a lot of criticism, but I love the heck out of it. But I digress. Let's go ahead and get into the stack. These are all ones that I've shown before. I've gotten within the past few weeks, except for I think maybe like one or two I haven't shown yet. But everything else I've shown. But I like doing these combined updates for one big haul because it seems to get more views, more exposure as well. And you guys seem to like it. So let's go ahead and keep this going. First up is The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogy on 4K Ultra HD. Unfortunately, these do not have any special features. But this has the theatrical and extended movies on 6 discs right there, and this one is theatrical and extended movies on 9 discs. So it's a nice release, but I do think they're going to be doing another one, make you kind of double dip on it for the 4K releases for us. But I think if you are a fan of these movies, you'll definitely appreciate the 4K treatment here. But of course you want the special features. I feel like people that buy these movies, and especially on the 4K, you want the whole shebang. You want all the special features, but they'll probably be doing another one, coming up maybe this summer or something like that. But happy to have them right now in the collection for the 4K. And I don't know. I think I might be the only person that prefers the Hobbit trilogy. I think I am. But I like the Hobbit trilogy a little bit more. But don't hate me. Next up is Top Gun. This is the Steelbook, and I know they're doing the new Top Gun movie, which I think is supposed to come out this year. It has Jennifer Connelly. I think it might be called Top Gun Maverick. And it's, I think like 35 years after the original. So doing sequels that, far, I just don't know. I feel like I've heard, them trying to do another Goonies movie, another Beetlejuice movie, talks for so many different movies. And they did the new Bill and Ted's Face the Music, which I just thought was horrendous. It didn't really have the nostalgia factor. It was just cringy. So I don't know. I feel like Tom Cruise, though, has aged very well. Val Kilmer, though, I know he's had some throat issues and stuff like that. He did some conventions. And my local comedy club, too, he was doing, he didn't do comedy. He was, I think, portraying Mark Twain, doing some kind of reading. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure the comedy club is like, if he wants to do this, we'll gladly have this, star at our comedy club. But I know for when he was doing conventions and stuff, he stopped doing them for a little bit because of his throat. But hopefully he's doing better now and in good health. But yeah, Top Gun, I remember enjoying this one back in the day. Grew up on this one, the Righteous Brothers. And this is directed by Tony Scott, who directed True Romance. And he also directed The Last Boy Scout, which is my all-time favorite action movie. Let me know what your favorite Tony Scott movie is. He's done some great films. But this has a great mixture of, action and romance, and, some drama elements going on there too. The fighter pilots, really good cast, great cast interaction too. Tim Robbins, Val Kilmer, Kelly McGillis, Anthony Edwards, and of course Tom Cruise. Get your heart pumping in different scenes. So I really enjoyed the cast, their chemistry, the soundtrack as well, and nice Steelbook right here. And I'll go ahead and take the wraparound J card off, but I'll show you the special features right there. And there is the back. And I think that looks awesome. And it includes newly remastered feature and bonus content. I kept a little sticker in here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you real quick the interior. So I think that looks amazing. And Best Buy is doing a lot of their exclusive Steelbooks, but I've heard you can find some of their exclusive Steelbooks in like other stores. I don't know if it's Target, or I think it was Target or either Walmart, but I heard people saying they have found like some of their exclusives, the Best Buy ones, at others, like one of those other stores, which is weird to me. I don't know the whole reasoning behind that, but I think it's a cool opportunity if you can find those Steelbooks for sure. My Best Buy, whenever they get the exclusive Steelbooks, they usually get like 2, 3, and then you see people flipping it on eBay, which I hate. Next up is Collateral. Love this movie. A lot of people hate on Tom Cruise, but check out his filmography. He's done some amazing films. I don't care how much you hate him. There's got to be something on there that you like from him, from his filmography. He's done so many great films. I don't care about his, Scientology beliefs or any of that. He's awesome. He still does his own stunts, and he has aged very well. I don't know what he's doing, but I want to follow that regimen. I don't think I could follow it, though. I still love pizza, ice cream, and beer, I'm toned down the beer, though, but yeah, he is a great actor. He's been in a ton of movies that I enjoy, and I think this is one of his best performances. Very underrated film, directed by Michael Mann, starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. And yeah, this one to me blew me away. He's a hitman in here, and Jada Pinkett Smith is in here. There's a few other recognizable people, Bruce McGill, but yeah, I love this movie so much. It's palpable tension. He gets into Jamie Foxx's cab. He's a taxi driver, and Tom Cruise is his hitman. He makes him drive him around to these different hits and stuff, and it kind of comes full circle. And Tom Cruise is so good in this performance. Absolutely love it. Let me know what your favorite Tom Cruise movie is. And, for people to say that they hate him because of his Scientology beliefs and all that, I think it's just ridiculous considering what so many other actors and directors have done. Terrible, awful things. And you're nitpicking about that. I don't care what you do in your personal life as long as it doesn't hurt other people. And, you can separate their real life from their films if you want to. But I mean, you look at Roman Polanski, the director of Jeepers Creepers too. I don't even want to mention his name, but yeah, all these people who are, I don't want to say, the director of Jeepers Creepers is beloved, but Roman Polanski is beloved. He fled the country, got an Oscar, people still love him, and you're giving gripe about his Scientology beliefs? Get the heck out of here. I think it's ridiculous to me. But yeah, I love this film so much. Give this film a chance. If you like, action thrillers, I would highly recommend the heck out of this. Palpable tension. I love the interaction between Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. Definitely dig this one. And I haven't checked that out in 4K yet, but I am going to. Another thing that I really enjoy about 4K is the HDR. That is like such a huge thing for 4K. I think a lot of people who are non-believers of the 4K, they're missing out on that aspect big time. Next up is V for Vendetta, and I am such a huge fan of Natalie Portman. I've been a fan of her for a long time. I think she's a very talented actress. I think she's intelligent, gorgeous, well spoken to. I've really enjoyed her in her interviews. I like the SNL skit when she was rapping. I thought that was so awesome and hilarious. It made me like her even more. But I remember her way back in the day when she was a young actress. She did Leon the Professional. But let me know what your favorite Natalie Portman movie is. Black Swan, her performance in there was incredible. But she was excellent here too with Hugo Weaving. This one is, I think it's, kind of still important today, very relevant today. And I haven't checked this one out in 4K, but I'm definitely going to. This has 2 hours of bonus features. This is one I'm going to check out very soon. And one of the things I definitely want to check out for the bonus features is Natalie Portman's audition here. This is probably on my top 50 movies of all time, V for Vendetta. Let me know what you think of it, and if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Definitely check this one out. Some riveting performances here, and again, I think it's something that you can, is relevant today, and you can see that in the film. The visuals here were so stunning, and I remember watching the Blu-ray for it and being kind of blown away. Even some of the darker scenes, though, you get some good detailing and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that is enhanced here on the 4K disc. But this is, again, like one of my all-time favorite movies, top 50 for me. Am I the only one that's like really list oriented? I do like a lot of lists. People ask me all the time, do you have a favorite movie? Do you have a favorite, a couple favorites? I have like a top 100 list. I'm constantly, adding, taking things. Actually, the majority of my list stays the same, but every now and then I'll make a couple changes. But yeah, V for Vendetta would be my top 50 for sure. All-time classic, one of my favorite films. Next up is another classic film. And it's Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. Let me know what your favorite Stanley Kubrick movie is. For me, it's The Shining. I mean, you really can't go wrong. Even Eyes Wide Shut, I thought was an amazing film. And another great Tom Cruise movie. But yeah, this one right here, it's a tale of two halves. I think everybody essentially agrees that the first half of the movie, and the drill camp and stuff like that, is the better. But then I really enjoyed the second half too. And overall, the film is incredible. Vincent D'Onofrio blew me away. Arlie Emery too is the drill sergeant, so great. But just a really raw, dirty look at war, and a great cast here too. Matthew Modine, again Vincent D'Onofrio, just the whole cast really shined, worked well here. And it's very bleak, but it's a realistic look as well. And an all-time classic. But yeah, let me know your favorite Kubrick movie. So many great ones to choose from. I want to see more of the 4K treatment for some of his films that don't have it yet, including Eyes Wide Shut. Next up is Westworld. This is season 3, which I haven't seen this season yet, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Love the first season. I can't believe first season I think came out 2016, which blows my mind. 5 years now. I can't believe it's been that long. But I remember watching the old Westworld movie from like the 70s. I want to say 73, written and directed by Michael Crichton and starring Yul Brynner. I feel like that kind of gave some inspiration to the Terminator as well, because when you see Yul Brynner continually coming after certain characters, it just reminds me so much of the Terminator. But yeah, this is such a great modernized take on it too, and the visuals are mind-blowing. The cast here, incredible. You have Evan Rachel Wood, who recently, she's in the news for coming out against Marilyn Manson. I think a bunch of people did. Definitely some crazy stuff there. I don't know, I was never a Marilyn Manson fan. It wasn't my kind of music, but I know he has a huge fan following, fan base. It's a bummer to hear all these people that you looked up to and enjoyed, and hearing all these terrible things come out. Can't we just have some good people who did good things? But yeah, I really enjoy the cast here. A ton of great people. Vincent Cassel, Ed Harris, Aaron Paul, Jeffrey Wright, who I'm a big fan of. I thought he was super underrated for the longest time. It's great to see him getting some accolades now. I mean, he's been around for a long time. Ride with the Devil. He was great in there. It's the Ang Lee movie, one of my favorite Ang Lee movies, along with Ice Storm. But yeah, Thandie Newton, always absolutely stunning and talented, but just a great cast across the board, and the visuals are amazing, like I said in here. If you're into sci-fi, the first season was like one of the best sci-fi TV seasons ever for me. And I'm looking forward to checking out this season. I don't think I finished season 2. I remember watching part of season 2 and enjoying it, and then for whatever reason I got busy with life. So I'll have to follow. I might just do a binge and start from the beginning on this one again too. But I just like it's showing that the different aspects of humanity is the biggest part of this series. But you have the different characters and their evolutions as well, and this has a bunch of special features. And the cast really, that's one of the driving forces for this. Like I said, the visuals were excellent, and I like that. I don't know if it catches the light right there. Kind of like a hollow foil design on this outer slip case right here, which I think is really cool. And I like the black cases for the 4Ks as well. But the acting is amazing for it. So that's one of the key things too. You can have all the visuals, you can have a great storyline, concept here, but you have to have the right cast too for the roles. A lot of times I'll look back on certain movies and TV shows, and I'm thinking I couldn't picture anybody else doing that role, and you hear other people who are up for it, and it kind of blows your mind. Christian Bale for American Psycho, just so perfect as Patrick Bateman. I couldn't imagine other people playing, but I hear different people were supposed to play the roles and different things like that. So I'm happy with the cast that they chose. Next up is Alien. This is the 40th anniversary edition, and this has that hollow foil effect too. If it, I don't know, I can see it on my end, but it doesn't really pick it up on. You can see a little bit right there. It is. You got to catch the light at a certain angle for the video right there. But a ton of special features right here. But watching this on 4K is like watching a brand new movie. This looks like it was filmed today. It looks so incredible on 4K. Blew my mind. The clarity, the detailing. This is definitely a really great 4K Ultra HD release, a sci-fi classic. I definitely prefer Aliens to Alien, but this is the one that started it all, the whole franchise. And I love the heck out of it. And Alien is, of course, directed by Ridley Scott. And let me know what your favorite Ridley Scott movie is. Alien would probably be my pick. Blade Runner, a close second. But he also directed Legend with Tom Cruise and Tim Curry, American Gangster, Martian recently with Matt Damon, which I really enjoyed the heck out of that movie, Robin Hood, Kingdom of Heaven, G.I. Jane, Hannibal, a bunch of other ones, a lot of great films, but I feel like there's a top tier echelon of his films. So definitely let me know what your favorite Ridley Scott movie is. If Alien and Blade Runner are your top choices, let me know your choice after that. But I love pretty much all of the Alien films except for two. I love Prometheus. I just love that whole world it created. Gave you a lot of extra things to go and think about with in the realm of Alien and the franchise, and I really enjoy that. I received a lot of criticism, but mostly because I think people were expecting xenomorphs all over the place jumping around, and that wasn't the case. And I actually preferred that build up. There were some at the end, but then Alien Covenant, Ridley Scott was like, I'm listening. You want xenomorphs all over the place jumping around? And that's what Alien Covenant was, and it was kind of a cluster F, and with the flute thing too, there's so many scenes that could have been edited out for that, and it was just a mess of a film. But I also enjoyed Alien vs Predator. I just thought that was a fun mashup. It's kind of like Freddy vs Jason. You want to see these big bad creatures facing off against each other, but Alien vs Predator Requiem, terrible, probably easily. Not probably, it is easily the worst film in the franchise. But yeah, I pretty much enjoy all the films and love them, except for those two, Covenant and Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Even Resurrection, a lot of people hated that one with Ron Perlman and Winona Ryder. I enjoyed the heck out of that one. And Alien 3, Fincher's Alien 3, even though he wanted a different cut of the film, and the studio kind of took over, and I think he walked away, and they did a ton of reshoots and trimmed it down a bunch. I still enjoy that one. Let me know what your favorite Alien film is besides Aliens and Alien. After that, I guess your third favorite in the franchise. I want to see more love for Resurrection, but I don't know if that's going to happen. That gets a lot of hate and criticism too. I thought it was a fun film. I enjoyed what they're trying to do with it as well, with the alien and kind of like hybrid and things like that. I think there's a lot more they can do with the franchise, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the future, and keep bringing them and give us more backstory and history. I'm enjoying the heck out of the franchise. Covenant, I complain about Covenant, but it still does have some redeeming qualities to it. I just think it kind of went in the wrong direction after Prometheus, which was such a strong film. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from it, the franchise, and again, a classic right here. The whole franchise to me, aside Requiem and Covenant, but just overall as a franchise, one of the better franchises out there for as many films that are in there. Like if you think about some of the big franchises out there, especially for horror, there's a lot of stink bombs in there. The Halloween franchise. To me, of the big three franchises, Halloween was the worst. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween. Over half the films are bad in my opinion. But it's subjective ultimately. But for me, Alien is one of the best horror sci-fi films out. Aliens is my favorite, then Alien Resurrection, and then Prometheus, and then Alien 3. Prometheus might be third, actually, now that I think about it. It might be Aliens, Alien, Prometheus for me, and then Resurrection, then Alien 3, and then I guess AVP. But yeah, a classic, iconic film. One of the best sci-fi horror films ever. Absolutely love the heck out of this one. And again, this 4K, the transfer looks amazing. Looks like it was shot today. Really blown away. It's like watching a new film. And again, extensive bonus features right there too. And I love the slip cover to it. You gotta catch the light just at the right way, but you get that hollow foil effect, which I think looks amazing. You can kind of see it right there, but it's super cool. Trust me. Includes the 79 theatrical version and the 2003 director's cut. Some great commentary on here too. Definitely check this one out for the 4K. Again, there's certain ones that you see and you're just blown away by, and that is one of them for me. Next up is the Best Buy exclusive 4K Ultra HD Steelbook for Halloween. I've been getting kind of out of the Steelbooks. There's very few I'll pick up here and there. This one to me, such a beautiful design. I like just this too, the outer like slip cover for it, this clear plastic. And I remember like the Mondo Steelbooks always had these. So I think it actually helps protect the Steelbooks. Sometimes they get dented and damaged. So I like that. It's like a thicker, plastic wrap around for like a slip cover essentially for it. But I feel like it helps protect too. And I love this like brush matte finish. And Laurie Strode in the back, Michael Myers, and just I think that looks amazing with the fall colors. It's probably one of my favorite Steelbooks now. I had to pick it up, and the transfer on this one I think was more detailed as well. It was a little bit darker than some of the other transfers I've seen, like the 1080p ones and stuff. But there's the fall foliage in there. So I thought that was nice. There were certain aspects that I think really you could see a little bit better. And there's the discs right there. And put the digital copy back in here. But I remember for a while this was like sold out of print. People were selling on eBay for like crazy money. Then I think it came back. I don't know if they just manufactured more of them or what the deal was, but people were picking them up and they were still selling on eBay for crazy money. But soup to have that. And I picked this up prior to getting the Steelbook. I heard that they were going to have a Steelbook for it. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get this one. And I saw the Steelbook. I was like, that's amazing. I have to get it. It's just such a beautiful looking Steelbook. And I feel like horror fans kind of drive the market for physical media. They know we're going to pick up the new edition of Halloween, Evil Dead. I mean, how many different editions are there? I'm looking probably, just right here. I've got the Mask edition right there. It was the 30th anniversary edition. I've got the 20th anniversary VHS Snow Globe set. I've got the Steelbook. I've got so many different editions, and we keep buying them. And they know that we will. They'll pop in a different slipcover or new artwork for the Steelbook or something like that. We'll get them. But again, this is the same transfer, same disc in here. So I do like the classic artwork for this. This is, again, like an all-time classic. So I'll keep both versions for this. For certain movies that I absolutely love, I'll keep multiple editions of. I'm trying not to do that for everything. I'm trying to thin down the collection because room, space is at a premium. You see the 2 bookcases behind me, but I've got 9 total tall and wide IKEA Billy bookcases. I've also got 2 smaller bookcases that I got off of Amazon, and I can't remember which ones they are, but they're, they still hold a decent amount. But then I also have piles everywhere, all around me. So I'm constantly trying to thin out the collection. If it's something that I can't see myself rewatching again, it's got to go. There's no reason to keep it. I don't want to keep things just to have them. Next up is Drawbridge. I think it is American Drawbridge. Drawbridge is for sure something for the name of these smaller bookcases. But the IKEA, the Billy bookcases are, it's the tall and wide ones. People always ask me where I got these ones from. And some of the, like, you could see them push forward right now. They actually, it's, it has some depth to it. So some of the ones I actually push back. Right now I have these ones pushed forward. I actually like the look to this better, but I might push them back just because I feel like, I don't know, it's a little bit better that way. And I don't like if I'm taking some out, they, move. I think it's a little bit easier push back, but I like the way it looks pushed forward. So for now, we'll keep it like that. And also, oddly enough, the black bookcases are like $20 more, or maybe, I can't remember if it's $20 more or $40 more than like the other colors. Like the white bookcases, I think are like 40, and these are like 80 maybe. I think it is actually double last time I looked. So that blows my mind. I think there might have been like one other color too, but the black one, for whatever reason, is the most expensive. I think that's so, I hate that. It should all be the same. Everybody, I know, some people do like the white. I prefer, I think the black is very sleek. slimming, But I digress. Back to the movies. We've got Suspiria. My friend Stephanie in here, Movie Chatter, sent me this, and she actually sent me the previous Blu-ray release from Synapse as well. Very kind of her. She's actually become like a real life friend. We both are from New Jersey. We've hung out. I love talking to her all the time. We talk movies, life. So I'm thankful for that. Like I say this all the time. YouTube is a great outlet to talk, about our common interests, movies, collecting, things like that. But also had some great opportunities on here. And most importantly, I've made some good friends, some real friends on here. So I think that's awesome. And it's very kind, very generous of her to send this to me. And, during this quarantine time, we can't really hang out right now. So, once we do, though, I'm looking forward to, once this is all over and returns to some sense of normalcy, I'm looking forward to hanging out, talking movies again. But definitely check out her channel. She does great updates, reviews, and stuff like that. And definitely a positive person in the community. But this, to me, is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Great 70s horror from Dario Argento. My favorite Dario Argento movie is Phenomena, though, starring Jennifer Connelly. Love the heck out of that film. I'd love to see that get a proper 4K release. But let me know your favorite Dario Argento movie. Suspiria would be number 2 for me. But this one just blew me away when I first saw it. The visuals, just the colors, absolutely mind-blowing to me when I was younger and I saw it. And just, I love the heck out of this. And this is, supervised by director of photography, Luciano Tovoli. And for the first time ever in the true 2160p 4K presentation with HDR and Dolby Atmos remix. Can't wait to see the visuals on this. Again, the previous Blu-ray blew my mind, and just I have so many different iterations of this one as well. The old DVD collector's edition one, amazing. So really souped for this one. Part of the Three Mothers trilogy from Dario Argento, and again, a classic witch horror movie too. Let me know what your favorite witch horror movie is. The movie The Witch that came out a few years ago was actually amazing too. Some people didn't enjoy it. It is dramatically paced, might not be for everybody, but I just felt like it was very authentic feeling to what that time period would be like in my mind. That's what I picture it, and I was just kind of blown away by that one. Next up, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. To me, I always say this, it blows my mind. I've heard people say Evil Dead 2 is terrible. It's essentially the same freaking movie as Evil Dead. It's a bigger budget remake of Evil Dead. This is a low budget horror classic right here. I do prefer Evil Dead 2 because, again, I feel like he had a little bit more of a budget to work with and improved on some things, but it's essentially the same storyline. But an all-time classic, and I'm looking forward to Army of Darkness on 4K as well to complete the trilogy right here. And Ash vs. the Evil Dead, the TV show, was amazing. I can't believe that got canceled. I was hoping somebody would pick it up. I think Netflix initially passed on it, but I was hoping they would pick it up. Maybe they'll change their mind, hopefully, but I would love to see that come back. That show was such a great mixture of horror and comedy, which both of these movies are, and it was in the same vein. And Bruce Campbell is great as Ash, and absolutely love Evil Dead 2, another one of my favorite horror comedy movies. Let me know what your favorite horror comedy movie is, and let me know what your favorite low-budget horror movie is. Am I the only one that thinks that this is essentially a bigger budget remake of the first one? I've heard people in Facebook groups recently. I saw people post about it, like, this movie's terrible, but they love this movie. How is that? How could that be possible? It's the same freaking movie. Essentially, there's slight variations, of course, but the storyline is pretty much the same. I don't know. People, they blow my mind. But again, a lot of these, I think people don't seem to understand. A lot of the older movies can really benefit from the 4K treatment. Again, especially Alien. That one is a great example. Next up is the first Purge. I'm not the biggest fan of the Purge movies, especially the first one, but I think this is one of the better ones of the franchise. Probably my second favorite. It's kind of like an origin story of how the Purge started. And it has some great tension in here, some great, violent scenes from what you'd expect. And, it's, again, tells you how it all started. And I think if you're a fan of the Purge franchise, you'll definitely want to see this one. Just the whole concept to me just doesn't really work. Where you can, commit any crimes for that time period. But they have the new founding fathers. They're testing this, what they call a sociological experiment in theory, venting aggression. So I don't know. Again, it's hard for me to buy into that concept, but once you can get past that, I think there's some good tension there, some political aspects too, which kind of plays up to the whole franchise. I feel like they could have played it up a lot more. I think they played it up more in this one than any of the other ones. So again, I think it's probably the second best of the franchise. Let me know what you think of the Purge franchise, and which is your favorite of the Purge franchise. Next up is The Nun. Mixed feelings on this one, but I think it's one of the better nun horror movies out there. Let me know if you have a favorite nun horror movie. Now, one thing I did like in here, the lead actress is Tasha Farmiga, who's the younger sister of Vera Farmiga, you know, from the Conjuring franchise. And she actually, there's a small appearance from her at the end, and it kind of ties together, which I definitely like. And then you also have Demian Bashir in here, who is a priest who has, kind of a haunted past, and they go to Romania. She hasn't taken her final vows to be a nun yet, but there's a nun who essentially commits suicide, and they have to go to this church there and investigate it, and they find some terrible demonic things happening. There's some kind of jump scares there, which I think are kind of cheap, but I think it's very atmospheric. It has some creepy moments, some good tension. It's a mixed bag, but I still think it's one of the better of the nun horror movies. So it ties into the Conjuring universe as well. So I think it's decent, and it's one that, I'm gonna have to revisit that one to see how I feel. I've actually watched it not that long ago, but I kind of want to rewatch it again. I feel like the first time I watched it, I liked it, and the second time I liked it a little bit more, but I'm still like mixed feelings on certain aspects about it. But again, one of the better, I don't think there's a lot of great nun horror movies. I've seen some ones from back in the day that were just terrible. So I guess in a watered down field, it's the best. Next up is The Meg. This is the final one right here. This is popcorn entertainment cheese. Jason Statham fighting a giant shark. You also have like Rainn Wilson in here, Ruby Rose, which I'm not a big Ruby Rose fan. I feel like she's in so much stuff recently. They're kind of pushing her as like an action star too. She wasn't too bad. She was in this movie where she was kind of guarding a hotel. I can't remember the name of it right now, but she was okay in that one. I think her action sequences were better than her acting. But yeah, this is it's a giant prehistoric 75-foot shark, and comes back, and it's attacking people. They have this underwater area down there, substation essentially, and they have this glass, and it's part of the trailer, which is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, where there's like this little girl and she's looking out the window in this substation, and the big megalodon right here bites the glass. I just thought that was such an awesome scene, and like I said, this is cheesy popcorn, fun, entertainment, horror, action. It's a giant shark, and Jason Statham, trying to kill the shark. Let me know what your favorite Jason Statham movie is. I remember him way back, Lock, Stock, Snatch. I really like those movies, but he's done a ton of action movies since then. And I've heard that they're going to make a sequel for this too. Again, it's not the greatest shark attack movie, but I thought it was cheesy fun. You know what you're getting yourself into for this kind of movie. But I dig the heck out of it. It was, exactly, like I said, you have fun with this movie. You don't take it too seriously. It's got some issues for sure, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So there you go, The Meg, which actually I thought this looked decent on 4K too. I heard some negative criticism for the transfer. I thought it looked good clarity, decently bright. But yeah, there you go. Those are the 16 pickups for 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays right here. Let me know if you've seen these movies and what is your favorite from these pickups, and let me know what your favorite 4K Ultra HD movie is in your collection, and what you'd like to see get the 4K Ultra HD treatment in the future. Leave me those comments down below, and I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.